What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're taking a look at Ratchet Clank Rift Apart here on Boosteroids. This is pretty much, except for cloud PCs, the only actual cloud service out there that you can stream this game on, and pretty much to any device, be it lower power PCs, your phones, your Steam Deck, your Ally, whatever. You can use Boosteroid to stream. So Ratchet Clank being a game that I really had a lot of fun with on PS5 and I'm playing on PC, I wanted to jump in, see how it's running. So we're using the Boosteroid app here on my Windows 11 PC. As far as my connection, I do have a pretty stable and good connection for cloud here at 845 for our bandwidth and 22 for our latency. This is an install and play title, so it's not really much of a process. You click the install and play, add it to your library. I'll accept the EULA here as I normally would, and if you go to library and downloads, you'll see it's already downloaded, ready to go here, and it's already working on launching. Now, different launchers, different games for install and play might react a little differently. You might have to click launch or something, but pretty simple process. We're at full screen 1080p because 1080p is the cap right now with Boosteroid. DLSS is on quality. We're using the high preset, and we also have all the ray tracing features turned on and high as well. Now, of course, you can adjust settings to get better performance, but I thought this would be a good place to start here. And I was really actually surprised. This game's running very well over here on Boosteroid. Now, for me here in the US, this is like, I believe, the AMD Epic CPU with the RTX 6000 GPU, which of course allowing us to use all the DLSS and ray tracing features. So the game looks great here, and for the most part is able to hold in game about 60 FPS, 50 to 60 with these settings. Most of the time more around 60. I'll show you a part a little bit later where it does dip some. There are going to be different worlds that perform differently, and of course you can change your DLSS to balance their performance. You can lower some of the settings. You don't have to use ray tracing if you don't want to, but I thought this was a good way to see pretty much how the game was playing here. Almost maxed out, not all the way up on very high, but close end with ray tracing. Now, as far as Boosteroid's latency, this feels really good with Ratchet Clank. Now, I'm pretty close to my data center, like 4 hours away here physically, so yeah, latency input is really good for me with this. As far as those dips in performance, you'll see some here. I wanted to show like 48 FPS there and in the 50s. Again, depending on where you're at, these kinds of things will happen in-game. But the stream itself is a pretty solid 1080p 60 FPS, and when those things sync up and the game is at a higher frame rate and everything's working well, feels great here on Boosteroid playing Ratchet & Clank and really a lot of other newer titles that I've tested as well. When we get into faster motion, we don't see a big dip in the bitrate. We don't have options to pick all this like we do over on GeForce Now, so we're kind of stuck usually with what we get. And the good thing is, as we spin around and there's a lot of motion on screen, we don't get a lot of pixelation and issues here on Boosteroid. They've really done a good bit to improve this service over time, and this game's playing great here for me for Boosteroid. Alright guys, thanks a lot for coming to check out the video as always. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.